Look, I don't want to get a reputation as an overly negative fan, so while many of my teams have let me down recently, Barcelona got rid of Sergio Roberto, Vancouver Canucks failed to win the Stanley Cup, again. This is hockey heritage. The Whitecaps are in the mud, and China put on one of the worst performances in World Cup qualifying that I've ever seen. At last, I have salvation! The Canada national team are actually doing pretty well. Last time we talked about the Canada national team, we had just hired Jesse Marsh as MLS Canada men's national team head coach. The full story behind the odd title is that our federation is more broke than your average university student. So, Jesse's salary is primarily paid for by the 3 MLS clubs in Canada, namely Vancouver Whitecaps, Toronto FC, and CF Montreal. Really makes you wonder why we still call it soccer when half of our teams end in FC. But anyways, we finally had a head coach after John Herdman's departure. The national team is back on track, so let's see how Jesse started. It was terrible. 4-0 against the Netherlands. 4-0 against Koeman's Netherlands. Our performance was worse than Biden's at the last debate. We were doing okay in the first half, then in the second half, everything collapsed. Thankfully, Marsh would turn things around with a 0-0 draw with France, showing that we could still grind out results against tough opposition. With the friendlies out of the way, we can now move on to Copa America, where Canada were placed in the same group as Peru, Chile, and defending champions Argentina, who we would face first. Despite the overwhelming odds, the Canadians would do a fantastic job of holding Argentina at bay. I may consider Crépeau a traitor for the Whitecaps, but for Canada, he's our national hero. There was even this moment when Jonathan David nearly scored from point-blank range. But this is very much like that video of the Saudi Arabian army trying to play Russia's national anthem. It started well, then everything fell apart. After the match, Jesse Marsh complained about how, at halftime, Argentina took 5 minutes longer to re-emerge from the tunnel. Look, I can see where he's coming from. Taking 5 minutes more than the opposition to re-emerge from the tunnel at halftime can give the other side an unfair advantage because, well, they've had 5 minutes more to analyze the opposition. But at the same time, that's not the only reason we lost. And he also vastly exaggerated how long Argentina took. Anyways, after that opening loss, Canada would face Peru next. Peru were in much improved form leading up to the tournament, getting 3 wins in 4 undefeated matches. They would show as much as the Canadians were forced to hold them off for most of the game. Then in the 59th minute, Miguel Araujo got sent off and the momentum shifted. 74 minutes played, Jonathan David found himself in a 1-on-1 and scores for Canada. The Canadians would then fend off the Peruvian attack to secure all 3 points. In the other match, Argentina defeated Chile, meaning that if Argentina beat Peru, which was extremely likely to happen, all Canada had to do was not lose against Chile and they would be through. And despite some dodgy moments, Les Rouges would hold Chile to a 0-0 draw. With Argentina winning in the other game, Canada reached the Copa America quarterfinals for the first time ever.
Yeah, baby!
On an unrelated note, did you know that the Canadian national team has 2 nicknames? The first is the one everyone knows, Les Rouges, and the second one is the Canucks. We are massive. I'm also pretty amused that after Canada qualified for the knockouts, Jesse Marsh decided to throw shade at the US men's national team when they failed to qualify for the knockouts. The US really chose Berhalter over him, huh? Moving on to how we did, I think there are positives and negatives. Our defense has been somewhat inconsistent, unbeatable at times, but leaky otherwise. Had it not been for Crépeau turning into Prime Neuer, we would have been done for. Second of all, the attack is less than inspiring. We have 1 goal across 5 matches. But hey, I mean, we still did pretty decently against 3 CONMEBOL members, and we showed that we can grind out results when we need to. And besides, people are forgetting, Jesse Marsh only just came a few months before Copa America, so for all we know, this could only be the beginning. Now that Canada are in the quarterfinals, we'll face Venezuela next, and considering how improved their form has been, I'm not really sure if we can win against them. But at the same time, who knows? I mean, we've shown that we can triumph over tough opposition, and maybe a miracle will happen. I'm not sure, but I'd like to have hope. Thanks for watching. I get to release a positive video for the first time in forever. But if you like this, like and subscribe, follow my Twitter, yada yada yada, and I'll see you next time.